Good Wednesday morning, friends. It's 8 a.m. Brock requested beef tips. I got my beef back here with peppers and onions. I decided to do some fungus among us. There's fungus among us, friends. So I like to leave my mushrooms big when I cook them, like me. So you can see I just cut them in half. I don't wash these. I just take a paper towel, wipe off that dirt. Now, if they're disgustingly dirty, then I'll wash them, but I don't want to add any more moisture back to these mushrooms. I don't even add salt. Got my cast iron skillet. Everybody should have one in their kitchen. I just put a smidgen of olive oil spray because I don't want to add any moisture yet. So this is what we're going to do. I've got them cut up here. Got them in my cast iron skillet. I'm going to put it on the burner. I'm going to let them go. I'm going to let them get a little brown. I'm not going to touch them. I'm just going to let them hang out, and I'll be back and I'll show you what we're going to do to them after they get to where I like them. Okay, so we're back. I want you to see these mushrooms. They're starting to change color, get a little softer. So this is the point where we're going to come in and we're going to add about 1.5 tablespoons of butter. Now we're going to really let these saute. Still not going to come in with any salt yet. Just going to let that butter do its trick. Get them all covered in the butter. I'm going to let those cook for a few minutes, and I'll be back. Okay, you see we've got some great color on those mushrooms. They've really reduced down. You see why I like to keep them nice and big and chunky, like me. So now I'm going to come in with these peppers and onions so they can all hang out together. So now you can say this isn't really a recipe, which is true. I'm giving you a few tips here, but like I said, I know some of my cousins' children follow me, and some of them are just learning to cook or are starting out to learn things. So sometimes I like to do things kind of to a show how. Show how? A how show? A show how. So white cow, show how. Anyway, ooh-wee, I need some more coffee this morning. Got that in there. Those great peppers and onions. Now, I love the yellow and the orange peppers and the red. Use whatever kind of peppers you like. Green peppers tear me up. Give me some hot burn. Now we're going to come in with some pepper. We're going to come in with some salt. We're going to come in with some Worcestershire. I say probably a couple of tablespoons. Now, that's totally optional. You don't have to do that. I just like that flavor. And just a smidge of soy. Okay? Now, we're just going to let all that cook together. Doesn't that look delicious? Ooh-wee. All right, I'm going to grab. I'll be right back. Forgot to grab the minced garlic. I love keeping this minced garlic on hand in my fridge. There we go. Now, as you can see, we're starting to draw up some moisture here. You can see that moisture. So we're just going to let this cook down till we get all that moisture out. Everything's tender, golden. We can adjust the taste in a minute if we need more salt and pepper. I'm going to let these cook. I'll be back to show you what we're going to do next. All right, so those vegetables have cooked down. The mushrooms, the onions, and the peppers. I left a little in the skillet so you can see here. Now, this is personal preference. Cook them as soft or as crunchy as you like them. I like them somewhere in between. So I'm just going to take them off here, put these in my metal bowl for now. You don't have to worry about keeping them warm because we're going to heat this up and have it at lunch. So if you see here, I left a couple pieces of that fat when I cut up my beef. Now this is a sirloin that I thought, so I'm going to get some of that fat going here in the skillet. Get it going, let it release some of that good stuff. Good stuff right there. Now I have sirloin cut up Here on my cutting board, just gonna add a little bit. Maybe I gotta open my olive oil, sorry. Had an incident with my olive oil the other day where my container fell on the floor and broke. So I haven't bought a new one yet. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of olive oil there. Just a tiny pat of butter into that skillet. Now here I have my beef tips, my sirloin tips. Now all I've done to these is just coat them in a little bit of cornstarch. I've really been into cornstarch lately. I don't know why. Instead of flour. So I'm going to add those in. If you've been a friend of mine for a while, you know that I'm a meat purist. I don't like to put a whole lot on my meat if I can keep from it. I like just meat taste. So there we go. We got those beef tips in. I'm just going to leave them set there for a minute. I am now going to come in with some SPG. And really, that's all I'm going to add to these. There we go. I'm going to let these set for a minute and get caramelized, and then I will flip them, and we'll be back. These beef tips look amazing. Now, Mason and I like our steak about medium. Brock likes his a little more well done, but I kind of just stopped at medium because we're going to heat these back up for lunch when we come home this afternoon. I'm just going to throw everything into this pan together with the veggies because the boys will eat theirs over rice. I will eat mine as is. There we go. Look at that, friends. Oh, beef tips with peppers, onions, and mushrooms. Served with a side of rice. Super quick. It is now 8:30, so we've been together for about a half hour. Lunch is ready. Now stay with me. I think I'm going to come back and make a quick gravy in case Brock wants it for his rice. Be right back. So we have these great beef drippings left here in the cast iron skillet, so I thought why not make up a little bit of brown gravy just in case the boys want it for their rice. So I'm going to come in with some flour. Got about 1/3 cup there. You want equal parts grease, equal parts flour. I never really measure, but if you're not confident, then give it a measure. So we're just going to take this flour, get it spread all around. I am going to add a little bit of butter because it looks like I had more flour than drippings. So there we go. We're just going to add a little pat of butter. That's all you have to do. It's not a big deal. Just add you a little bit more grease back in. Get this stirred. You want to cook that flour out for a couple minutes. This is what I always stress because you don't want that flour taste. So I'll just set a timer here for 2 minutes. That way we're for sure. I usually know by eyeballing it, but this way you can see what it looks like. It's going to get a little bit darker, richer color. Trying to scrape the bottom of my cast iron here and get up those good beef bits that we had in there. Go. Just going to let them cook here. We're going to let them get brown. So I've set that timer. Instead of you standing here watching me whisk this broom, as exciting as it is, whisk this broom. Did you hear what I said? Kitchen witch, stir this pot with my spoon. I'll come back when the 2 minutes is up and I'll show you how to finish off this quick beef gravy. You can see it's been 2 minutes. You can see this dark color we've got on here. I'm coming in with some beef broth. I'd say that was probably 1.5 cups, maybe. Now at this point, I'm going to turn my burner down. We're going to let this get thick. Okay. I've got some water on standby to thin this down because that beef broth is going to be super rich. So we're going to thin it down with a little bit of water. Now, if you like that rich taste, by all means, just thin it down with a little bit more beef broth. There we go. That's it. Thicken it up as much as you want. There's a quick beef gravy there to go with the rice and the steak and the peppers. Now, I am going to taste it. Always taste your food because I haven't salted or peppered it yet. Needs no salt. It's perfect the way it is. I am going to come in with a little bit of pepper. I'm going to shut the heat off. And there you have it. They're going to love this over their rice. Just a quick pan brown gravy. All those delicious bits. All right, friends, I've got to go get ready for work. I hope you have a fabulous day. If you're new here, like and subscribe. Hang out with me, Krista, at Krista's Country Kitchen. Bye, friends. Have a good day.